Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagam. Okay, so today we have a lot to talk about. I've got my Louis Vuitton refill here. So we're going to be talking about the 5 trends. Well, I hope they're 5 because I wrote them down. The 5 trends that you can expect to see in 2022, basically, when it pertains to the luxury shopping universe, let's put it that way. So without further ado, let's get started on the first trend. I think in 2022 we're going to really see the continuation of VIPs becoming more and more and more important at brands. I've already told you guys before how I believe that VIPs are now kind of like mini influencers in their own right. There's this MS VIP I stumbled across the other day. She's anonymous on Instagram. She posts lots of Kelly pochettes. She has the Kelly doll. She has lots of bits and pieces, and I think we're going to be seeing more people like that. She's anonymous, so it doesn't seem like she's necessarily working with big H, but she's definitely one of these 6-figure, maybe even a 7-figure VIP. I think we're going to be seeing the continuation of the importance of VIPs at these brands. And I wouldn't even be surprised if from like next year or maybe even 2023, if they start raising the thresholds. I've told you before, in the EU to be a Chanel VIP, you need to be spending 100,000 a year, excluding bags. I think in the UK it's like 60,000 pounds for Louis Vuitton, and canvas probably isn't counted in that, to be honest. And then in the US, it's around about the kind of same thing, like 60,000, 70,000 US dollars. So it just depends also on the market, but I really do think VIPs are going to be even more important than they have been. The second trend I wanted to talk to you guys about, I think, is the rise of this whole thing of being offered a bag or being offered things. You probably notice like lots of influencers and bloggers when they do unboxings, they're like, you know, I was really lucky to be offered this, to be offered that. I've even seen people commenting on it and saying, why are bloggers saying I was offered this, I was offered that? Let me tell you why they're saying it, because they were literally offered it. Because I do think these houses and brands are changing how they do things. Like Big C, Big H definitely have their offer game, you know, locked down. Like at Big C, like you need to be offered the menu with the top handle. It has to be offered to you, and it depends which color. Like if a VIP rejects a color, it gets given to someone else, maybe on the reserve list, but first VIPs have to choose whether they're going to purchase or not. I think Louis Vuitton are also going to kind of do something similar with all of their limited edition releases that come out. So we've been talking a lot this month during Vlogmas about the New Year's Eve launches for Louis Vuitton, the denim drop that's coming, and the New Year's Day launches. There's tons of stuff coming on the 31st of December and on the 1st of January, which is, you know, in 2 weeks' time. And Louis Vuitton, I think what they will be doing, what I think is already happening, is like if you have an SA, you have to like fight to reserve the item. You have, and basically, if your SA is reserving it for you or chooses you to have the item reserved, you're basically being offered the bag at this point. You're basically being offered the item. I think that this is where things are going. I think some people find the whole idea of being offered something quite offensive and quite disrespectful. It is in a way, but I do think that is where we're going. I've got a really good example of this. Most of you have heard, of course, the release of the Patek Philippe Nautilus Tiffany & Co. watch, reference 5711. That's of course the very famous Nautilus line from Patek Philippe. So Patek Philippe and Tiffany have actually been working together since 1851 in various shapes and forms, and this year was 170 years of their business partnerships basically. So Patek wanted to celebrate that, and they launched this limited edition Nautilus Tiffany & Co. watch, and it has of course this beautiful Tiffany blue dial. There are 170 units of this watch were made. Of course, they've all been allocated, okay? Hove actually has one of them. Hove, Jay-Z has one. And there were 170 units. The list price, if you were to be offered, the O word, guys, being offered, okay, was 52,000 US dollars if you were in the US. However, it's even gone up for auction for more than $6 million, and someone did pay that money for that. You can really see with the Nautilus that people are okay with the idea of having to be offered this watch basically, and it doesn't matter whether it's Patek Philippe or Big H. People are okay with the idea that you have to be offered something. So for example, when it pertains to this one here, you had to have had like an extensive history at Patek Philippe. Like, you couldn't just be like, oh, I want to purchase this Nautilus Tiffany blue thing and I want to walk into a Patek Philippe AD and try and purchase it. I mean, you would look like you were completely delusional and absolutely barking mad, let's be honest. So you had to be offered it. What do you guys think about the rise of offers, the O word, having to be offered something, whether you're a big H, whether you're a big C? What do you guys think about that? The next trend is, okay, this one I'm really excited about. I'm very excited to talk about this one. This one is what I'm calling extreme exclusivity. If you remember a few videos ago, I mentioned to you guys how I watched a video by the Bag Geek and he was talking about how Chanel has created this market of ultra luxury. I totally agree with everything he said. I actually think as well, the luxury industry is going to be building on this whole idea of ultra luxury, but also looking at it through the prism of exclusivity. If you think about it, luxury is about, just generally speaking, buying things that are very well made and expensive. That's the whole point. Like, there has to be a degree of it feeling expensive and being expensive, right? But exclusivity is about access, okay? How do you get access to something that's really exclusive? So if you look at, for example, the Patek Philippe Nautilus with the Tiffany blue dial, like, that is not just about, you know, necessarily being expensive. I mean, it's a $52,000 watch. Yes, that's expensive in terms of watches if we're talking broadly speaking, but Audemars have really expensive watches that are more expensive than 52,000 USD, and there isn't that, of course there's a ton of hype around APs, but everyone was like freaking out about this. This was definitely probably the most exclusive men's timepiece to have launched this year, without a shadow of a doubt, in terms of just the sheer interest. Whether you like it or not isn't the issue. We're talking about the exclusivity and how people were desperately trying to score it. I think extreme exclusivity is what these brands are aiming for. So from what the Bag Geek was saying about ultra luxury, extreme exclusivity is just, it's even more intense because it's based on whether you can access something, and not just in that luxury fashion sense. I think a lot of these luxury fashion brands, they get ideas from other luxury brands. It's not just about luxury fashion or just about a bag. I feel like on YouTube, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later towards the end of the video, I feel like on YouTube we focus too much on handbags. Like, handbags are too much of a focus on YouTube because the algorithm pushes videos about bags more because more people tend to watch them. But I think extreme exclusivity is something we're going to see in all areas and all facets of luxury fashion. I think Richard Mille and Pharrell just did something else where they made a few units and all of those units sold out. That is where things are going. Things are going to be going towards limited edition, not just collabs, but limited edition partnerships where there are very few units made, and it's not even necessarily about how expensive the item is, but it's about were you able to actually get access to purchase that particular item. And I think that's really where we're headed. And if you think about it, for example, I mean, let's be fair, if these fashion brands could create their own planet, okay, in the solar system, where they could put all of their prized clients on that planet, you better believe that they would do that if they could. Like, how can you create a sense of exclusivity if everyone can attain your brand? It's really, really hard to do that if you don't make something exclusive. And I think that we're going to see more extreme exclusivity on a global scale, not just in Western countries. I think we're going to see it everywhere. And I think we better get ready, because I think we're going to really be seeing it in 2022 and 2023 as well. The next trend is, I believe, when it pertains specifically to Big H, I believe the game will be harder if you don't have an SA and you're not grandfathered into relationships. Those of you who are grandfathered into relationships at Big H, this doesn't relate to you, and this is not relevant to you because you already have a grandfathered relationship, meaning you have an SA, you've been purchasing for years and years and years, you're getting your offers. Those of us who maybe don't have like an SA, or you don't have a home boutique like me, and like I said, there are many of you in the US who've told me, hey, I'm in the same situation as you, I have to go to Paris, I live like, you know, hours and hours and hours away from a Big H store. I totally understand how you feel. For us, the game will be harder to crack And I believe that Big H are going to put more and more barriers. Even this year, I've told you, I do lots of YouTube homework. I study the algorithm. I see whether certain videos are popping, whether other videos aren't popping. Even the people who scored Bs without purchase history, who scored back ends without purchase history, those videos have declined this year. And no, you cannot count scoring in Paris as you saying you walked into a boutique in, I don't know, like a European city and you asked for a bag and you didn't get one. So, or you asked for a bag and then you were given like a Birkin 35. That's not the same thing. Scoring in Paris is a different situation, and we all know that. And I've noticed that those videos have actually declined definitely this year. People aren't really getting those offers like that much, like those kind of cold offers. That's not to say that they're not happening, but Big H are not stupid. They know about these videos, they know about forums, they know about groups, they know that people are sharing that info. I think we're going to see a decline of those cold offers, even in the sort of undesirable sizes like the Birkin 35 and the Kelly 32. I will have a Kelly 32 video coming very soon, because I believe the Kelly 32 actually is a bit of a Cinderella in the making that we've kind of just like ignored, but I'll talk about that in another video. So I think that the game will definitely become much harder for all of us, basically, if you don't have an essay. If you have an essay, please don't be like, I have an essay, the game isn't hard for me. I literally just said, because people do this to me in my videos, like people don't listen to things I say. Definitely those of you who have an essay, the game is what it is. But those of us who don't, I think that Big H are going to make it even harder to score, and I think that definitely in the really competitive markets, it's going to be even harder. And I think what they're going to do is they're really going to create a sort of invisible Paris game. Many people have come back from Paris and have reported that there is basically a game. We just don't talk about it because it's like the elephant in the room, and people get quite upset when you say that there is a game in Paris. There is one. There is one. You know, people have found that when they like buy something small, then ask for an appointment, you magically get an appointment. Whereas when you hadn't bought anything, you didn't get an appointment. Come on, guys. We all know that there's a game here. Big H are cultivating, and they're cultivating making the game even harder. You know, those of you who like Nintendo, who like Super Mario, there are levels to this, okay? There are levels. You first have to go through the first level, win that, okay? And if you don't, it's game over. I think we're definitely going to see the game getting harder and harder, and I think scoring in Paris, regardless of what time of the year you go in, I think that's going to be harder and harder for sure as well. The next trend that I wanted to talk about is the one that I find just actually the most interesting, because it's connected to YouTube, so it's very interesting to me. So I think that the next trend is luxury becoming lifestyle and lifestyle becoming luxury. So let me explain. The past like 18 months, I have noticed a trend. And by the way, I'm not a gatekeeper, disclaimer, because I don't want anyone yelling at me, just something I've noticed. There's this trend where big lifestyle influencers and big lifestyle channels on YouTube and Instagram are all of a sudden now doing Chanel unboxings, doing Louis Vuitton unboxings, or doing even like Fendi. Fendi's popping at the moment, by the way, on YouTube. Fendi's like has kind of been going through this resurgence on YouTube as well. But these like big lifestyle influencers and lifestyle bloggers are now doing a lot of luxury unboxings, and yeah, like I said, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and of course Big H. And there was a period of time, if you really pay attention to those big lifestyle channels, and I think you know what I mean by lifestyle, they're sharing their life with you, they're lifestyle vloggers, they're not luxury YouTubers or anything like that, they're sharing their life. I think if you were paying attention last year, there was a window of time, particularly last kind of autumn, winter, where there was a rush of people who were scoring bags worldwide, cold, without spend, and outside of Paris. And then that kind of window closed, and then the decline in those videos started. And literally, I've literally been studying the decline through using these apps and things that I do when I do YouTube homework, and I can literally see what is the volume of searches that people are doing. There has been a decline in those videos because those offers were happening obviously during the height of C19, but now things are getting better. You know, you can get inoculated against, you know what, because I can't use the V word on YouTube. So a lot of these lifestyle channels were doing those Big H unboxings, they're doing Chanel unboxings, doing Louis Vuitton unboxings. Why is this relevant? This is relevant because luxury is no longer just luxury. It's actually become mainstream. It's become it's just become this huge thing that's kind of, it's kind of transcended being a trend. When I was really starting to take my channel seriously, it was around April. I still felt like it was just the luxury community was this kind of small community, particularly on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and forums. It's not a universal thing, but now I feel like it's becoming more and more and more universal, as I'm noticing big channels, people with hundreds of thousands and thousands of subscribers and who do vlogs, they are now paying attention to what's going on in the luxury universe, luxury community, doing lots of unboxings, because they're seeing that Chanel unboxings, Louis Vuitton unboxings, Big H particularly Big H unboxings, get those views. Like those three brands, like if you unbox Big H, Big C, Big L at this point, because Louis Vuitton needs a rap name as well. If you unbox those three houses every single month, you will rack up those views. You will stack up the views. Like people will just be watching your channel. I know that some of you are like, okay, well, I'm tired of unboxings. I know people say that. The numbers don't lie. I study this stuff. I do lots of luxury YouTube homework for my page so I can make my page successful. I know exactly what people are searching for when it pertains to the luxury community. I know what people are interested in. People want to see these unboxings. So these larger lifestyle channels have now kind of also been taking part in that. And like I said, it's cool. I have no issue with that. I'm not gatekeeping at all. I think it's great. I love watching people's unboxings. I don't care how many subscribers you have. I will watch anyone's unboxing. I do not care. And their hauls and their chatty videos. I love luxury, so I'm happy to watch. That is kind of where things are going. And I think we're going to see in 2022 more and more people who are maybe lifestyle influencers, even celebrities, we might even see that sharing more and more and more about luxury. Even with celebrities, particularly me being that I love rap music, I'm always making rap references on here. Like I've even noticed like rappers, rappers mention designer brands all the time in their music. That's nothing new. But even on social media, like if you follow the City Girls, they're a rap duo. One of them, she's always like reposting like Chanel. She wears Chanel. She buys it with her own money. She's called Young Miami. That's the name of the rapper. One time on one of her stories, she was like vlogging herself, like looking at Chanel bags in the boutique. Saweetie, she's got Birkins. She takes pictures of her Birkins. I think she's got a Ver Criquet Birkin. She also has a Croc Birkin as well. Like it's really like luxury has really become a lifestyle, and I think we're going to see the growth of that lifestyle in 2020. And I think it's gone from being this quite niche community of what's in my bag videos and review videos to now really being a lifestyle that people want to attain. And you always know it's a lifestyle when people outside of the community who don't just post about luxury every single week are now all of a sudden posting about luxury, and now all of a sudden telling you they bought this Louis Vuitton this, or they bought this Birkin, and how they scored a B without purchase history. I always tell you guys, don't fall for everything, particularly when it pertains to Big H and big influencers. Don't fall for everything you see. If you guys want to talk to me privately to get my unfiltered opinion, that's fine. But actually, in the spirit of being fun, I'll just give you my unfiltered opinion. There are a lot of smoke and mirrors, particularly when it pertains to Big H, and some of those videos you've seen of someone saying that they walked in and they didn't spend anything and they were offered a bag, and it's like a really desirable color, like a Birkin 25 in gold or whatever, or like a neutral. Like, don't believe everything you see, okay? I'm not saying that everyone is capping, but definitely just keep an eye open. But generally speaking, luxury has become lifestyle. Lifestyle has become luxury. So those are the trends that are popping right now, or that I think will be popping in 2022. And I'm very curious to see how things will go, like for luxury fashion. I think luxury fashion is also even transcending itself. You see like Bulgari, they have the Bulgari Hotel. Fendi are doing interior design right now as well. Fendi also have, I think they also have like a hotel as well, so something like that. It's luxury is no longer, luxury fashion specifically is no longer about luxury fashion. It's about a feeling, a vibe, a mood of being completely and totally exclusive, and only those of you who own these items can be part of the club. I also think we're going to see more and more and more luxury fashion brands collaborating with sort of extremely luxurious things like private jet companies. I think we'll see things like that. boating, boat makers or ship makers. I think we'll see those things, and I will not be surprised at all if we start seeing them from like 2022 year end, 2023, 2024, because luxury fashion used to be so exclusive. It's no longer as exclusive as it used to be. These luxury houses want to be more exclusive again, so they're trying to figure out, how do we not just be super luxurious, but how do we be very exclusive? You can see Hermes do this when they did the collab with Bugatti. Hermes also did a special collab with Rolls-Royce for one client. That is where things are going, and luxury fashion brands are going in that direction. Version 1.0 of the Chanel argument that I agreed with initially was that Big C wants to move on. Big C is like, look, I don't want people saving for bags. I agree. And it's still correct. They definitely don't want people who are trying to save money to score bags. They're definitely not interested in that. But I actually think version 2.0 is about lifestyle. Like, all of these houses, Big C, Big H, Big L, Big LV, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Gucci, all of these houses want people who live it as a lifestyle. There are a lot of you who watch my channel who are ballers, okay? You're balling hard. They want you, okay? A lot of you are balling hard, you're living large, you're doing the thing, and you're living great. They want people who see this as a lifestyle. And this is why these brands hate the resale market so much. It's not even so much about the fact that the resale market eats at their margins and revenue and profit. It's about the fact that the resale market, this is what I think, I'm not necessarily saying I agree before anyone attacks me. I think that these brands think that the resale market cheapens their view of what luxury should be. Because luxury, at least from what they think, in my opinion, is it should be something that's so luxurious. You go get an experience, you go to the boutique, it's beautifully wrapped. You're not thinking about, oh, when I get financial problems, I'm going to resell this, or oh, next month when there's a new bag, I'm going to resell this. They don't want that. They want people who live it as a lifestyle and want to indulge in every single luxurious part of that product without thinking about money, saving, investments. Are you losing money on this? Are you losing money on that? And that is why I think at the core, a lot of these brands, particularly Big C and Big H, they will fight resellers as hard as they can. And Big C is coming for resellers in 2022. If you follow the 22P launch that's coming, if you follow 22S, if you guys know the T, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't follow, you don't know what's popping, let me know if you want to know what's going on with that. Although I'm not going to be talking about Chanel for a while now because I just did finish the Chanel long weekend, so I might do that video later on in January. But I really do think that's what it's about. Like, resale doesn't feel luxurious for these brands. Resale doesn't make their products look luxurious. By the way, there's nothing wrong with resale. Please. I just want to be clear about that. And I'm not even really against it, even though I will always prefer something brand new. I think that it's fine to resell your personal collection. I think that's just the way that these houses see it. So I would love to get your opinion on what you think of all of these luxury trends for 2022. And what do you guys think about the luxury community more broadly? Are you excited about the new channels that you're watching, or are you excited about like what you're seeing? And yeah, I'd just love to know your opinions on everything that I've covered in this video. And it's Christmas week. I'm quite excited about it being Christmas. I'm so excited. So on the 24th, which is Friday, that video won't be a premiere because I'll be at church. So that video will just be a normal upload because I'll obviously be at mass for midnight mass. And then Saturday's Christmas Day, I won't have a video. And then Sunday's Boxing Day, I'll be right back. Okay, so that we can talk about things. Although I must say, this Vlogmas has been interesting. A lot of YouTubers and lots of groups have been complaining about this Vlogmas, saying that people aren't watching. But people are not watching that much this Vlogmas, I must say, because people are with family. It's Christmas, people are at home. And connecting with family, doing Christmas shopping. So I haven't really been surprised, because even I've noticed it on my channel, but it's not really a big deal. So anyway, I want to thank everyone who has been watching my videos. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I'll see you tomorrow in my next video.